Hello again, and welcome to Pfunzo's View podcast. So today, today, I'm gonna be talking about, um, I guess, chef school, uh, the chef industry or the food industry, and all of that. I'm just gonna be talking about, I guess, my experience and my whole feeling about the whole industry. And by the way, this is just an opinion, okay? These are not facts. This is just opinions, just based off of what I've experienced and what I've been viewing from the outside since I finished and graduated, and what I thought it was gonna be before going in. Now, what I'd seen, I think I always loved cooking and I enjoyed it. When I had the energy, of course, to do it, I enjoyed it and it was fun. And then, finally did it as a career in 2017 and graduated 2018. As you can see in that photo, little proud me graduating from my culinary art school with a diploma and actually did well in the exam. Oh my God, I was so happy. So this is just the little picture is just me super happy and all of that. And I just wanted to put a picture of proof that I actually went to the school. I don't know why I'm putting proof. I mean, I don't think anybody's fact checking me or anything like that. So in any case, let's just dive into it. So before going into it, I was always curious about it. I loved it. I used to watch shows like Buddy, the cake one, like even the cooking one he did, Rachel Ray, like way back when on ETV, like when it first came out. I used to watch that a lot. And I mean other shows as well that were just about cooking. I used to love watching those shows. So and my favorite chef ever since I'd found him was Jamie Oliver. No, did I say that? Did I say that right? Okay. You know what? It sounds like it just sounds so close to John Oliver that sometimes I'm like, is that right way? But I said it right. So he's one of my faves. I just liked his, what do you call it now, vibe. I liked his vibe. And yeah, so I was like, this was the people that I was obsessed with. So not really obsessed with, I just liked, and Rachel Ray at the time, like when I used to watch a show, loved it. And I was like, okay, cool. And I was like, because of Chef Jamie Oliver, I was like, I'm gonna be a chef. I wanna be a chef, but at the same time I was like, okay, I'm gonna go study science because you know it's comfortable, I guess. But finally went to school and everything, and I was so scared. I'm not gonna lie. Before I went to school, I was scared. I have a whole video about the experience in culinary school, which you can go see, which I'll link down in the description box. So I have a whole video explaining that whole situation, including my internship at a restaurant. I have all of that. It's already there. I'm gonna leave it in the description box, or also at the end of this video, so that y'all can go watch it. So also, guys, since we're here, please, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please do click on the subscribe button and on the notification bell on the side. Click all so that you can get notified as soon as I post a new video or podcast so that y'all can listen. Thank you. Also like the video if you actually enjoyed, please. Um, so in any case, going back to what I was saying. So I did it and then I was like, okay, cool. Okay, we were learning. I learned new things. And I guess more than anything, I was learning to be comfortable in the kitchen and to experiment and to not, like, also the theory and all of that, which is also great to have, just to learn a little bit more about flavors and all of that. I think the one thing I can say that I can get off of the school and I can say being a chef and graduating and all of those things is balancing out the flavors. I think that's the one thing I can say that I'm like, yeah, okay, my palate has been a lot more open. When you taste the flavors, you're like, oh, okay, now I see why they added those things. Oh, now I see why they did that. And like it was fun. Like learning those things was amazing. And then, of course, when I did the internship again, have a video on that. Not really gonna go into it. And when I went in, like the real world kind of hit you in a way. but not fully because you're still a student, but fully because they put you in there and like you are here, aren't you? So do what you're supposed to do. So we did our thing. I finished the whole entire thing. When I was in that thing, I knew I don't not want to work for a restaurant. Let me not lie to you. I was like, I don't want to work for somebody else. One, like physically, I could not. Like even when I was doing that, because I was a part-time student, I was not really working in this restaurant like full time. It was like more like part-time because like once I worked there, like yes, my body got used to it and the moving and everything, but because of my condition, which I've also spoken about on this channel, it's painful afterwards. Like everything feels inflamed. My fatigue was hitting me. I needed time to like regenerate again so that I can have all that energy. So yeah. So basically, I was like, yeah, no, this is not gonna be possible. Like if I have a function or something, it's one day. Usually my legs are gonna be swollen like for like a week or so, and then they're gonna go back to normal. So I'm like, it's fine. At least it's for me, and I know why I'm doing it, and I enjoy it. Plus, I'm not working for somebody else, and I'm making the money myself. Plus, when I was looking at how my sister was getting better, I was like, okay, dying for me, but okay. Okay, cool. Not like if I'm like now working for myself, it's like I'm making a whole killing or something like that. And even now I'm back in school because I'm gonna make sure that I run my business properly. But like, you just look at it and you're just like, okay, okay, but I don't want that. I've never, ever since Umsobombo came to our school when I was in secondary school in Baby, um, they sparked something in me when I was like when they said like you have your own business no matter what age, and at the time I thought that could help me, but you needed a certain amount and I did not have that amount to go start my own business. I was like, okay, fine. When I grow up, one day I will be an employer because I don't want to be an employee. I want to be an employer. So I was like, when I saw that, I was like, yeah, that's definitely what I'm gonna do. That is what my main aim is, and right now that's what I'm working towards. Like, I'm not making a killing or anything, but I'm not like it's. I don't know. I have family who is supporting me, which is the most amazing part. Like now, when I'm doing my cakes, and if you're in South Africa, in the Tando area, and you want a cake, I do cakes. It's all gonna be on my website, which is linked down below. So they support me at least, and I have family and like friends or family that also support me in my business and patronize me and stuff. So, we have that and you will build on that slowly but surely you will get there. And so basically, I guess when it comes to like my experience with chefing right now, I think that is like the basic stuff. And now since I've been out of it and like I've been doing videos or experimenting on things, searching online and doing all of those things, I feel much more comfortable and a lot more how do you say? Like I feel I I'm more confident in my cooking and I'm more confident in trying out new things and things go wrong. Like I tried to make a custard, like this is my second time. I was like, nope, things went wrong. That is not how that goes. Even though I was making cakes, like the first one was a flop. Then I finally got one right. Then I have to get the decorations right. I was like, it's learning. I'm getting better at it, but you still have to be learning and stuff. And then, so basically, what I wanted to talk about when it came to this situation, right? I don't know if I'm the only one or it's I'm the only one that gets annoyed by certain things. But when you've been going online, I don't know if it's just me, but I feel like it's including me actually, to be honest. Have you seen that? Oh, it feels like a lot of chefs are pretentious. Like a lot of the culinary arts, not especially chefs, there's a lot of pretentiousness in the whole entire industry. Because this is a thing that has been like annoying me when it comes to like imagine, right? My passion is in cooking, and the thing that I wanted to do was learn how to cook different foods and like have people enjoy the food. But like the most fun is in me cooking the food. Yes, it's nice to get like feedback of whether what went wrong or what's good. And I know because most of us have an ego. Sometimes you don't really want to hear that your food was bad, but sometimes it is, and your little ego and pride are just in the way and stuff. I am guilty of that as well. And But like, you know, like, because the biggest one is this whole steak thing, right? You know, when they're like, oh my god, you know, my steak it just has salt and pepper, and then sometimes they season it with thyme and garlic with some butter, and then just putting it on top, and it's like it is still bloody in the middle, or it's medium rare, or whatever the hell else stuff. I know I'm a chef, and I should be saying the actual full word, but that, right? And then I saw a post, and somebody was like, my dad, they were in France. I think they'd gone there for a holiday, and the dad had ordered for a well done steak, right? And like the person, like the chef came outside and was like I think that thing, the chef came out and whatever and was talking to them, and like there was a whole argument in the comment section, like, no, if you actually get your steak cooked completely, then you do not enjoy steak, you're just eating dry. I was like, wait, if you are an actual good chef, the person didn't order dry steak. They ordered for a steak that was well done. Well done does not equal dry. If you dry out your well done steak, then you don't know how to cook, because those juices should still be in there, even though it's well done. For me, I don't count you as a good cook. I don't count you as a good chef if you cannot still make it well done for people who cannot eat food. Like they enjoy a steak, but they just don't enjoy it with blood in it. And also for people who, because I feel like it's such a pretentious thing as well. Like you can tell me up and down and swear up and down that it's a tasting, but I call BS on that. For me, I just think it is pretense. It's like this whole thing of like, oh, I'm just from up here and I'm just seasoning it a little bit so that you know how good my steak is. Oh, God, I never said I wanted to taste how good your steak is. I just want to eat the food. I'm paying for it. It's going into my stomach. I'm digesting it. I'm saying I enjoy your steak just well done. And well done does not mean you give me something dry. Like, don't mistake those things. Like, can we not? I'm still gonna say it's very like it always annoys the heck out of me. But especially when you even have chefs going into, I'm like, guys, your whole point is for you to give, like, you are in a restaurant, the customer is ordering a particular thing. Oh God, put your pride and ego aside and serve the person what they wanted. I don't understand why you are coming outside. What are you coming out to try to do? To intimidate them to eat what you want them to eat? Like, what's the whole point of you? Like, if you wanted to somebody, then why don't you just get, like, I don't know, you think this, I don't know, what can you even say, sir? Like, what can you even say? Like, for me, like, I don't like what, I don't even eat, like, I think I did eat a steak or something once like that. I was like, I don't enjoy it. It doesn't taste good to me. I don't like it and I don't want it. And other people enjoy it and have a preference for that. Like, it's like for me, seafood, completely, I hate seafood. Like, I used to eat fish and I think I ate too much fish when I was younger. So at this point, I hate like fish. Plus, I hate any of those other stuff. I tried oysters, like, ugh, I didn't want that. Like, I hated it. This is just me and what I like, and I don't like that. And also, I don't like things like a runny egg. Like at least when it's like medium, when it still has that creaminess, medium to almost getting done, but it still has a little bit of a runny. That it should not be runny, just not like completely done. I'm okay with it. When it's runny, it makes me want to throw up, and I don't want that. See, now because you decided that you wanted yours a certain way, you think everybody, because you're like, oh, look, I am talking on my high horse up here, and I think I know best, and I think you should eat it just the way I said you should eat it, or else you just don't enjoy the steak. You don't actually like steak. Oh, God, is it your money? Is it your money? Like, you act as if I'm spending your money to eat what I'm eating. Is it your mouth that's gonna eat this? No. So shut the heck up, stay in your goddamn lane, and let me do my thing. It is none of your business. For me, as a like as a chef, as I am at the moment, for me, I go like I'm gonna serve my customers what my customers prefer, not what I think my customers should eat. Like, because if I was to go by what I think you will be eating vanilla like me. I don't want you to eat vanilla like me. By vanilla, I mean like eating basic food. My thing is like, why? I just never. That's why I say there's such pretense in it. This is so obnoxious. It's just so like I just don't understand it. And that's why for me, I'm like, even if I'm not part of like the crew or whatever of that section, I'm okay with it actually. Like I'm proper okay with it. Then I saw another post as well, and somebody was like, was talking about like, oh, somebody was asking me, can I replace, um, can I replace butter with margarine? And the person was like looking at his face. I was like, listen. As I was looking at it, I was like, okay. See, this is the problem with people that have money. You forget that even people with that money are following you. They want to try your recipes, and that person is asking a genuine question because in South Africa, to just get that dang butter, it starts from 60. If you want to get a good one, it's probably even higher than that. It starts from 65 rand going up for that dang butter. And that one is even the salted one, which is, most of the recipes are gonna be calling for unsalted. Which that one to find is difficult in normal. Like, listen, I have looked when I'm trying to bake cakes and stuff like that. I have looked to find that one. You have to go to specific shops, and it's specifically expensive. Maybe in Gauteng, maybe it's easier, or in the Western Cape, maybe it's easier to find it. But the price is not. It's not small. And then somebody's asking you an actual genuine question. You put up a recipe or something, and somebody's asking you, can I replace it with margarine? For me, I would have said yes, you can. Look for one with higher fat content. If it's most especially for baking, if it's higher fat content, look for that one, and it's gonna be better. It's gonna work better for you. But like, how are you gonna sit there and then, as a chef, somebody's asking a genuine question in a country where getting that particular thing is expensive? It's like you, if I'm in South Africa and then I'm using plain flour to bake, plain flour here is expensive. If you say cake flour, it's not that bad. If you say self-raising flour, it's not that bad. White bread flour or brown bread, it's not that expensive. But when you start to go into specialty flours, it starts getting expensive. So when somebody's asking for an alternative, which there's this other chef that I follow, like not that I follow, like I liked her cooking stuff. It's bigger, bolder. Okay, it's three B's. It's bigger, bolder baking thing. I think I'm saying that right. But like even then, when you ask questions like if I was to use this, then like yeah, it was a question of like if because where I'm living there isn't this particular thing. If I was to use this particular one, would it work? And the person was so nice, answered the question, and did not look at you like you stupid. Like I'm gonna say, I feel like to like lower your pride and ego and come back to the real world. Okay, it is not that deep. Cooking is supposed to be fun. Cooking is supposed to be just like it's supposed to be a nice outlet to have fun, to enjoy. But with all of this, like whether it's influencers or people who consume food who wanna make it like a class thing or like listen, as I am at the moment and where we are, getting butter is too expensive. Like it's just too much. We can't be spending that amount of money. Like most usually when you're getting like if I get margarine, like most usually let's say for spreading like on your bread and stuff, ne? If I get like a one kg of margarine, it's about between if it's on sale maybe I'm like about 35 bucks, and if it's like normal price I think about 40 bucks of like the stock one. There's even cheaper ones. And that one is like I think is it 500 gram or no, that can't be from like 1 kg, yes. And then you go to the butter side, and butter is 75 rand. It's 500 gram that they want to give to you. Like, which one do you think I'm going to buy as broke as I am if I wanted something? Also, a lot of people in this country, ne, which is something like when I buy butter, there's that smell that I hate, and the taste. I'm not used to the taste. But you give me margarine, I'm used to that. Give me rama stock, whatever. Like my taste buds are used to it, and they like it and they enjoy it. When I smell that one versus butter, I'm like, margarine is where I enjoy. I know it's not the best or whatever, but margarine is where I enjoy. Plus, I think it's also, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's vegan friendly or vegetarian friendly, one of the two. So, like, for people also who are vegetarians or vegans and asking you an alternative, and then you're looking at them like that, I'm like, so you, as you are, you only think like on one scenario, nothing else. For me, I feel like if a chef cannot use even more affordable things, are you even a chef? Because are you only a good chef when you have expensive fish? Like, I try to understand that. Like, listen, I'm not judging. I am. I am actually. I'm not saying anything bad or nothing, but like, I just like to make it make sense to me. Because like, when I see things like that, I'm just like, I just don't understand it. This industry, I feel like, has a lot of pretense, and it has a lot of like egos, a lot of egos. Hey, listen, I'm counting myself in it. Like when you're coming out, like for me, like the recipes that I've shown on this thing, on this page now, you can go out and you can find, like you can use any of those. The ingredients I'm using, most of the time way more cheaper. I use margarine if I'm here, and if butter is much, it's like next to your stuff. Just substitute what I wrote in margarine and use butter if you want to. But if you cannot, at least there's an alternative. There's this book. I think it's Cook In and Out. I forgot. It's like a book. I think it's from 1990 something. It's from the 90s. And the book, like for baking and stuff like that, the materials that they use in that book, ne, it's things you can find in South Africa easily, and it's things that are affordable for the normal average South African. And like when I look at it and I'm seeing someone like some of these new chefs, I feel like they take so much from like the Americans, where I'm like, in America they cater for the American market. Like the chefs that are there, when they use butter, it's because in America it's more accessible. When they use plain flour, it's because in the US it's more accessible. When they use certain ingredients, it's because in the US, like things like, if I think if you're like in America or Canada, like maple syrup is way more affordable than if you're in certain section of the. It's like if I'm here in Limpopo, ne, and I just keep saying like, hey, keep using avocados. Like when if I'm in Joburg, like here I can get avocados for free, ne? Or even if I'm spending money, it will not be that much amount of money, because you can find a lot of avocados inside, or mangoes, or lychees, like things like that that like grow easily this side, ne? And I just keep saying that, oh, okay, like, and you are in Joburg and maybe it's not easily accessible to you, and I keep saying use these ingredients. Even you're gonna be like, this is not really catered for me because I cannot afford any of this, and it's not easy for me to find these things. Like I think for what, 4 avocados in Joburg, was it 30 something bucks or 40 something bucks? And I was like, I know you're lying because I'm not spending that much money. Because usually when I get from this, I'm like, listen, I get it from the tree, or even if I'm getting it from the store, it is way cheaper than that, and I am not spending that much money on my, So, so when I look at it, I'm just like, can you choose things that are affordable for people? Can you make a recipe that does not call on things where I'm like, I can't even pronounce it? And I know sometimes you're like looking for things or like I'm trying something new, whatever. But can you try something new with things that I can actually am buying in my house? The recipes are followed, and then when I look at how much in like most of the ingredients that they want you to use, ne, that you're not probably going to use after that, and how much they're actually expensive, and you're like, you had no alternative at all. Like there was nothing else that I could have used outside of what you're making me use. I'm just like, okay, oh, okay, fine, okay. But I'm just like, for me now, all I do is if I find a recipe, even if it's American, I'll find an alternatives. I'll check online. I'll do all of those things, which you can say, oh yeah, if people are buying those things, then they can also do that. I'm just like, but if the same chefs are the ones that are saying when you're asking if I can use margarine, are looking at you as if you said I'm going to murder your whole family. I mean, I'm just saying, that something is just not right. Something is not right in that situation. Another thing that just I was watching this other show, and I think they were talking about like, oh, ingredients or food trends that are like overrated or something like that. And they were talking about even the avocado thing, pumpkin spice, amongst other things that like people were like, the whole group mentality of like, okay, if they're saying it's bad or something like that, then I just have to agree with them, because if I don't, then I look like I'm the stupid one or something. And I was just looking, I was just like, guys, don't feel guilty about enjoying your avocado toast, okay? Like even when I'm here, I usually enjoy my avocado with like some sugar and some bread, not toasted. I'm sure it will taste good if it was toasted as well, and like it tastes good. Just don't waste all your money on it because like avocados are expensive and everything. But like, man, if you enjoy it, enjoy it. I don't know why there's this thing where, like, like when people are like, can we just not agree to bring back apple? Do you call it? I think in America, do they call it apple bottoms, like the flared legs, bell bottoms? I think that's what we call them, bell bottoms, ne? And you're just sitting there like, girl, if you wanna wear it, just wear it. It's the same thing with food. If you wanna eat it, just eat it. You don't need a crowd to agree with you that this thing tastes good or not. Just eat it. Why are you waiting for people's approval to enjoy something? What? I think another thing was there's this thing that also annoyed me when I was thinking about it as well. There's this thing about like how food is prepared. Like now, when I went to school and stuff, we were learning things mostly European dishes, nothing South African. Let me be honest, it's just European dishes over and over again. Funny in an African continent, learning only European dishes. Wow, proud. So that thing of like when I remember like if you're watching like for BuzzFeed or any of these like cooking shows and then you go to the comment section, which I don't know why I do that like when it comes to videos because I know it's just a place to go trigger yourself, but like when you're watching this BuzzFeed and stuff like that, and then maybe they're like cooking rice or washing rice or something or all of that, or the way that they're preparing rice, or on TikTok, right? And when you're watching this, your people go like, that is not how it's prepared. Okay, I am this particular Asian, and in Asia this is how it's done, or I am this particular region, or this region is how it's done. And I'm like, okay, listen, okay, and listen carefully. Every continent, every country, every region has their own way of cooking food. Just because they do it a certain way in your culture or by your family, it does not mean that the rest of the world doing it differently is wrong. It doesn't mean if I don't make a certain thing the way they make it in Europe for chefs, it is wrong. Just because I am in the African continent. Now, there are certain things that are done in this continent, and people in this continent enjoy that type of food, but you insist on them only eating food from Asia or Europe. Like, what are you doing? Then why don't you just move to those countries and then serve those foods instead of forcing people to eat just those foods? Like, what is wrong with you? Like even the whole rice thing. I'm not gonna lie, and I've seen it with a lot of places, like with a lot of people on TikTok saying it. When I'm here, you add oil into your rice. Nobody's saying you shouldn't or you should not, but you add oil. Every time I've removed oil when I was cooking, it is so damn dry. I don't like it because I didn't grow up with it. I didn't grow up cooking it that way. But if there is a little bit of oil in it, it is so much better. It's much fluffier for me, and it's much more. It has much more life in it. It doesn't mean the way that we're making it is wrong. And for me, the thing that gets me is like most of the dishes that are like, no, that's not how you do it. It's like African dishes where people wanna come and argue with you. You people try Italian dishes and they're like, we're gonna no, maybe that is not the same place. Like even I have to correct myself on that. No child. Like they're making these dishes, they're making Italian dishes and they're not gonna correct anything, or they're making French dishes and they're not gonna do anything, Portuguese, British, or any of these places, and they're like, oh my god, I'm so fancy, make African dishes. It's wrong, you don't do that. You don't do to that to chicken, or you don't do that to the rice, or you don't do that to this, or you don't do that to that. Like imagine if, like, let's say in South Africa alone, if you're in the north like I am now, in the northern side, there is a way we cook pap, and then when you're going down south, there's different ways that they're cooking pap. All of those ways are actually right. All of them are right. There is no one which is better than the other, or there's no other one which is not right and one wrong. So why is it that when it comes to other things like how we prepare our own fish, why is it bothering you so much? How about you learn why we do that instead of you sitting there on your high horse complaining about, if you studied this is why we did this and this is why we did that. Maybe learn African dishes and prepare it the way it was prepared for once. And maybe just elevate it a little bit instead of you criticizing every black dish you interact with. Like, the thing that annoyed me was like, I'm going to a culinary school in Africa, in South Africa, and zero dishes are South African or African. Like they took me to Portuguese with their food, to France, to Italy, to this place, to Britain. Give me a South African dish for heaven's sake. Teach me that. Teach me an African dish. Teach me a Ghanaian dish. Teach me a Congolese dish. Teach me a Nigerian dish. Teach me a dish from Botswana, Lesotho, Namibia, like South African dishes. Teach me something that if I was to do a business in South Africa and I want to cater to my people, teach me how to cook tripe, how to prepare it, how to cut it, how to cook it. Yes, I know I can learn it from home, but I'm just saying, like, the whole point of me going to this school, teach me how to make African dishes. Teach me how to cook up, like, with elevation, you know? Like, make it, all that, like what they did with the, what is it called? No, I almost said panna cotta. No, it's not panna cotta. What is it called? I forgot the name of it. Even desserts. We have desserts. We have traditional desserts, you know. If you want us to show you, then maybe from your student time to time you tell us to make a dish that is part of our cultures or a different culture within South Africa, and we can bring you in some food so that y'all can taste and y'all can try them, and you can at least be cooking food from this damn continent for once, instead of us just making a bunch of European dishes. Like, you know what? I get it. The school that I went to was founded in I think it was in London or whatever, and but you are in a different region. Wouldn't you also adopt your schooling to also include food from the region that you're coming into? At least, like, it just doesn't make sense. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. I'm just like, you have so many dishes to choose from. So many dishes for you to choose from for us to try. Like, it feels like we respect more European or Asian dishes more than we respect any dishes made by African people, and even the ways that African people prepare their food. Like, like I get so excited when I see, like, if I'm watching like a vlog of like Dimaume, right? And I'm watching her vlogs and like she's showing like the foods that most of their restaurants are making, right? And I'm like seeing like they're making I think the last one that I saw was abacha with another type of chicken stew or something. And I was just like, it's so nice to see that when they are doing their things, like they still put in, like, it seems like even if they went to school and stuff like that, there was like that stuff was even taught in their school. I'm sure even in South Africa, I'm sure if you look around enough, maybe there are schools that will also teach like African dishes and stuff, hopefully. But like, I feel like should do better. Eh? I'm saying, including the chefs, I feel like we should do better. I ain't even gonna lie. Like, I feel like they should do better. We should do better, and I don't know. It's just, I don't know. Like, every time, like, I've sat down and I thought about it, and I've just been like, I'm part of this damn industry. But to be honest, I don't know if I'm even proud of this industry because, like, every time I see like chefs, like doing certain things and showing certain things like online, I just look at it and I'm just like, you guys are so judgmental. And you guys, instead of you to learn why people do certain things, you want to insist that what people are doing is wrong, and you will not even learn. Like, but you go visit those black cultures and see like how they make their foods, and maybe learn a thing or two, or even some of them grew up in it. I'm not saying learn a thing or two, and just improve on it, or dish up dishes like that because they taste good. We wouldn't be eating them if they didn't taste damn good, would we? It's just, I say, this industry is also has misogyny in it. I'm not gonna touch on that. I did that when I did like a video about restaurants. Again, will be linked down in the description box. So I did a video about that whole entire thing, even the industry in the back. It there's a lot of it's male dominated. Um, it's just ugh, I don't know, man. It's just I'm in the industry. There's nothing you can even say or do. You just, you just, I guess, you just continue with it. You just. But by the way, I'm not knocking all chefs or anything like that. These things are also criticizing me for things I've said and done and participated in, and whether knowing or unknowing. And this is an opinion. I'm not saying everybody is like that, but I'm just saying that we should do better. Also, when it comes to like working in restaurants and stuff like that, can that section be regulated? Like, I'm just wondering, maybe somebody educate me. Does the food industry in South Africa get regulated? I mean, I know around the world, I'm sure there's different things that happen, but like in this particular country, ne, because I know, like, if you go to different places around this country. I'm sorry, there was a noise. If you go to different parts of this country, you will find that the kitchen staff in the back is not paid that well. It is not paid well. And it seems like nobody regulates that side. Nobody looks into these restaurants that are, it's almost like it's like it's slave work basically. It's exploiting the workers in the back, and it's as if nobody cares. I don't know if like, somebody please tell me and educate me. Do chefs even have a somebody please do educate me. Do chefs even have unions and stuff like that, or is it just, like, because that's something, maybe that's the reason why even the wages are not even like looked at, and not even consistent everywhere you go. Like, I know, like, if you're beginning, like, your wage is low, but it feels like when you get to a certain point, your salary should be going up, shouldn't it? The amount of work that is, like, you work a 14-hour shift, and then you get maybe 2 hours at least from the shift. So that means you're working in total, standing is 12 hours of you standing and working in the restaurant while working and doing everything. But you get peanuts for it. Like, I just wanna understand, like, is there no, and also you have a lot of restaurants which happened now during the COVID times, where you had a lot of restaurants not being able to claim that money to open up their restaurants, because in the back they hired foreign workers, ne? But they don't even pay those workers. And like, you find that majority, like in the restaurant I was working in, a lot of them were foreigners, and and they were being exploited in that restaurant, and you could see that they were being exploited because they're not being paid that much, and you have to pay rent, you have to take care of yourself, you have to buy food, you have to do all of those things. And now, like, if they were trying to open, they could not open because it did, like, actually they had a quota that they had to what do you call it, they had a quota that they had to meet. There's a certain number of South African citizens that they were supposed to have in their restaurants, and a lot of restaurants could not open because they didn't have um like a lot of South African employees. And even the foreign people that were working there, like, I'm so, like, those people were being taken advantage of. That was slave work. Like, 14 hours of you working for you to get between 3.6 maybe to about 4.5 thousand. And I'm just sitting there going, like, those hours, that salary doesn't make sense. Like, who survives on that? Like, if you're living in Petrodams, you have to be either living in certain areas where, like, it's far away from your job, because the place is in Main Lane, right? It's in Main Lane, Main, and any area around there is way too expensive unless, like, you're sharing with other people, right? A lot of people. That means you cannot live in that place. That means you have to be living far and getting transport, and most of that time, maybe your transport to and from where you live, since you're gonna be living at night, is gonna be it's going to be around about maybe 600 to move around. So now, from that money that you just got, you've already had 600 that went away, and then you have to eat. So, and you have to rent. You are renting a place most of the time, and if you have children, they have to go to school, and you have to buy food and clothes and uniforms and they need transport. Somebody gotta regulate the bag. Like if you like, no people go like, no, it's the qualification you have. Okay, I went and got the diploma for the bag. I mean, I'm sure there's degrees you can get, but like even then, maybe it'll be up by maybe 1,000. There'll be 1,000 difference, and maybe you can argue like, oh no, it's in the beginning. Okay, fine. But there's people who have worked and have 15 years experience, and maybe it might be a little better, but not that much. Like if you want to earn actual money, it's like when you have a lot of experience and you're the head chef, then at least then you can negotiate a good price. And that's because maybe they want you so very much. I think the head chef and the sous chef, if you look online and you're applying for jobs, sous chef and head chef, their salary difference is so big. But I'm like, this industry, it needs to be regulated, chef. I think that's what needs to happen. Anyway, guys, me, I don't want to bore you. I don't want to bore you too much with this. I think I said a lot of the points that I wanted to say, a lot of the things that were in my heart that were just bothering me. And so I'm gonna leave you here, and hopefully the next video, maybe I might do a cooking video, or I might do another podcast. I don't know. I'm enjoying this. So guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, and make sure you click the all one so that you can get notified as soon as I post a new video or new podcast. Also, hit that like button if you actually enjoyed what we're talking about. Also, comment down below what you think about. Give me your opinion on what you just heard. Like, let's interact. Let's talk. Please. Share with your family. Share this podcast with your family. Watch the other podcasts that I've already released, or any of my other videos. I mean, come on. Thank you so much, guys, for coming to listen to me ramble, rant, go on and on. Okay, until next time, bye.